Hello students, let us continue our discussion on the problems of capacitance. I hope we will finish it off today. Question number 29 is as follows. A 600 picofarad capacitor is connected by a 200 volt supply. It is then disconnected from the supply and connected to another uncharged 600 picofarad capacitor. How much electrostatic energy is lost in the process? So, here we have two capacitors, both of them of 600 picofarad and 600 picofarad. The first capacitor is taken and charged. How do we charge it? Connect it to a battery, that is it, it will get charged. The first 600 picofarad capacitor is charged by connecting it to a 200 volt supply. So, the potential difference that the capacitor acquires finally after complete charging will be 200 volt, right, because we are connecting it to a 200 volt supply. So, it will get charged till 200 volt itself, and it is then disconnected from the battery. Let me draw the entire phenomena what is happening. So, this is how the capacitor is. See, capacitor and battery should be different, they are actually different, right. When you draw a capacitor, the circuit symbol, both the lines should be equal. When you draw the battery, one of the lines should be lengthier and the other should be shorter, okay. Should keep the concentration on that. Many of you are writing while sending the keynotes, like the capacitor is written as battery itself, okay. So, should be careful with that. So, this is how the first phenomenon is happening. 600 picofarad capacitor is connected to 200 volt supply. So, what happens now? This will get charged and this capacitor will get charged to 200 volt itself, right. It is then disconnected, okay. So, this connection is removed, okay. After charging, this connection is removed, the battery is taken out, and then this 600 picofarad capacitor is connected to another capacitor, which is uncharged, right. So, this was charged 600 picofarad capacitor which is connected to uncharged 600 picofarad capacitor, right. And now during this process, this will get discharged to a certain extent and this will get charged, right. We have discussed about this phenomena, the miscellaneous part, and let me write the given data first. So, question number 29, C1, see, whenever you have two capacitors connecting after charging them individually, we have the formula for common potential and energy lost, right, should remember that. So, now what we need is energy lost one. First, let me write the given data. C1 is equal to 600 picofarad and C2 is equal to 600 picofarad itself. Both the capacitors we now have are of 600 picofarad capacitance, and the potential difference across the first capacitor, before they were short, before they were connected in parallel like this, before they were short together, first capacitor 600, the first one C1 we can call, is charged to 200 volts, right, before connecting with the other capacitor. And what about the potential difference or the voltage of the second capacitor C2 before it is connected to C1? See, the first capacitor is the only capacitor which is charged now. Second capacitor is not charged before connecting it to the first capacitor, right. It is the uncharged capacitor. When you have a capacitor without any charge, or I can say when you have an uncharged capacitor, then you have the potential difference across the plates equal to 0, right. When you have an uncharged capacitor, the potential difference across the plates is 0. So, here you have V2 is equal to 0 volt because it is not charged. So, no potential difference exists. Charge keeps on coming, the potential difference keeps on increasing. No charge, no potential difference. This is the given data, and what we need is energy lost, which we represent using delta U, right. So, you can directly put that put this into the expression of energy loss when two charged capacitors were connected with each other, right. We have the formula, we have derived it, and the expression for energy lost during the connection of two capacitors delta U is given by C1 C2 by 2 C1 plus C2 into V1 minus V2 whole square. Okay. The actual expression C1 C2 V1 minus V2 whole square by 2 C1 plus C2. So, this is actually similar to, I have told you how to remember this, right. This is similar to half C V square, right. Half C, they are something, the capacitors are somewhat like connected in parallel. So, the effective is C1 C2 by C1 plus C2, right. So, and the rest part is like V squared, half C V squared. Instead of V, we have V1 minus V2. Okay, this is how you can remember it. So, you have delta U is equal to, okay, what is C1? 600 picofarad, and C2 itself, C2 is also 600 picofarad. So, simplify the terms once, okay, substitute them, 600 into 10 to the power of minus 12 into 600 into 10 to the power of minus 12 into V1 is 200 minus 0, the previous potential difference of the second capacitor is 0 before connecting, whole squared divided by 2 into 600 into 10 to the power of minus 12 plus 600 into 10 to the power of minus 12. So, that becomes equal to delta U is equal to, so this is 2 times 600, which will be 1200. So, one of that will get cancelled, make use of calculator, that is fine, and finally it will be left with 600 into 600. Okay, let me write one more steps, 600 into 600 into, look at this, 200 squared, right, 200 minus 0 whole squared, simply 200 squared divided by, look at this, this is 2, these two are the same terms adding. So, it is 2 times of the 600 into 10 to the power of minus 12. Here 10 to the power of minus 12, 10 to the power of minus 12 will be there into 10 to the power of minus 12. So, one of the 10 to the power of minus 12 cancels, one of the 600 cancels, and 200 squared. So, after all the simplifications, you should get the energy lost delta U is equal to 6 into 10 to the power of minus 6 joule. Okay. This is the expression for energy lost by combining these two capacitors in with each other, one charged to 200 volt and the other uncharged. Okay. Good. Right. The next question, question number 30 is as follows. A 900 picofarad capacitor is charged by 100 volt battery. How much of the electrostatic energy is stored by the capacitor? This is the first part of the question. The question continues. The capacitor is disconnected from the battery and connected to another 300 picofarad capacitor. Okay. Calculate the electrostatic energy stored by the system together and loss of energy after connecting. Okay. So, now we have a single capacitor in the beginning, which is only 900 picofarad one, 900 picofarad capacitor, and this is charged. Charging means connecting it to a battery, charged by a 100 volt battery, right. This is charged to a 100 volt battery, right. How much of electrostatic energy is stored by the capacitor? Let us answer the first part of the question. look here, you have the capacitance of the capacitor given C, which is 900 picofarad, and the potential difference of the capacitor 100 volt. Quite simple, nothing to worry. So, energy stored in this capacitor alone is U is equal to half CV squared. U is equal to half C is 900 picofarad, 900 into 10 to the power of minus 12 into V squared is 100 squared. Okay. Simplify this, 100 square is 10 to the power of 4, 10 to the power of minus 12 plus 4 minus 8. So, 450 into 10 to the power of minus 8, which is 4.5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 joule. Okay. Let me call this energy, the energy stored in a single capacitor of 900 picofarad alone, as U1, okay, because we have further simplifications or the extension of the questions coming. So, let me call that as U1. So, you have U1 is equal to 4.5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 joule. So, this is the situation before connecting the capacitor to any other capacitor. We have just connected the capacitor to the battery, right. Now, what we will do, we will disconnect the battery and connect it to another 300 picofarad capacitor. Okay. We will disconnect it. This is the phenomena actually happening. We disconnected it. Now, after disconnecting, this capacitor is completely charged and ready, and we will take the capacitor and connect it to another capacitor of 300 picofarad. Okay. 900 picofarad, 300 picofarad. Since we have two capacitors in the second part of the question, I want to name all these factors as C1, V1 and U1, so that I can differentiate between the first capacitor and the second capacitor case. So, for the second capacitor, what and all is given? C2 is given, right? How much? It is 300 picofarad. What about V2? V2, the potential difference across the second capacitor is 0 volt, because it is not a charged capacitor. The 300 volt capacitor, 300 picofarad capacitor that we have is uncharged before we connect it with the 900 picofarad one, right. This was charged, this is not charged. So, there V2 becomes V2 is actually equal to 0 volt. So, now you have C1 V1, C2 V2, that is fine. But what is asked to find? The capacitor is disconnected from the battery and connected to another 300 picofarad capacitor. Calculate the electrostatic energy stored by the system, by the entire system, okay, and the loss of energy after connecting. Right. Let us work for loss of energy afterwards, because see, before we connect them together, it is only 900 picofarad one which was charged. So, this itself, U1 itself is the total energy of the system before those two capacitors were connected with each other, right, because 900 picofarad charged this much energy, 300 picofarad capacitor not at all charged, no energy. So, before connecting them with each other, the total energy is this itself, right. U1 is there, U2 is not, the potential energy with the 300 picofarad is not there. So, this itself is the potential energy stored before they were connected with each other. Now, after they were connected with each other, there, okay. Now, it is a situation of two capacitors connected in parallel. If you closely observe, right, you can assume two terminals here, that does not make any difference, but finally these two capacitors are the capacitors connected in parallel, right. So, when you have capacitors connected in parallel, the effective capacitance can be considered as Cp, right, the entire system, because they are asking us to find the energy stored in the total system. System includes two capacitors, and how are they connected? They are connected parallel. So, the effective is Cp, and the energy stored in the system is half Cp V squared or Vp squared, I can say. Okay, this is the energy stored in the system, which I can call as U2, right? What is this Vp or V? This V or Vp is the common potential attained by both the capacitors after connected with each other, right? And we have derived an equation, an expression for the common potential when two capacitors are connected with each other. The expression for the common potential is as follows: C is equal to V is equal to the common potentials, V is equal to C1 V1 plus C2 V2 divided by C1 plus C2. Okay, right. Let me simplify the values, substitute them first. C1 is 900 picofarad, 900 into 10 to the power of minus 12 into V1 is 100 volt plus C2 is 300 picofarad, that is fine. But what about V2? V2 is 0 volt divided by C1 plus C2, 900 plus 300, right? 900 into 10 to the power of minus 12 plus 300 into 10 to the power of minus 12, right? So, this part will be 0, nothing to worry about that. The only part left is this one, which is 900 into 100 into 10 to the power of minus 12, which is simply 9 into 10 to the power of plus 2 plus 4 minus 8 divided by, see here I can take 10 to the power of minus 12 as a common factor and keep it out, into 10 to the power of minus 12. Not only 10 to the power of minus 12, I will take these zeros also, which means 100 into 100. So, 10 to the power of minus 10 goes out. What is left is 9 plus 3, 12. Okay. So, make use of calculator, it is 3 by 4, 3 by 4 into, let me write it here, where shall I write here. So, the common potential is V is equal to 9 by 12 is 3 by 4, which is 0.75 into 10 to the power of minus 10 comes to numerator, becomes plus 10, 10 minus 8 is 2. So, V common potential is equal to 75 volt. Okay. This V itself is what I am calling Vp. Okay. Even if you keep it simply V, that is also fine. Okay. That is also right. So, now what we actually need is this half Cp Vp squared, which is the total energy stored in the system, the entire system, after both the capacitors are connected with each other. Okay. So, let us work for U2 now using the given data or say obtained data Vp and Cp. Okay. So, now U2, or I can call U2, let me call that U2, total energy of the system after connecting, half Cp Vp squared. So, U2 is equal to half, what is Cp connected in parallel? It is C1, simply C1 plus C2, parallel combination of capacitors is C1 plus C2. What is Vp? Okay, let me substitute that in the next step, Vp squared. So, U2 is half, C1 is 900 picofarad, 900 into 10 to the power of minus 12 plus C2 is 300 picofarad, 300 into 10 to the power of minus 12, Vp squared 75 into 75 squared. Okay. Simplify this, make use of calculator, and hence you will obtain U2 is equal to 3.375 into 10 to the power of minus 6 joule. Okay. Right. This is what is U2, which is the total energy stored in the combination. So this is one important result, because they have asked us to find this, obtain this, right? Calculate the electrostatic energy stored by the system. Yes, we have obtained. And next, and loss of energy after connecting. So now we should get to know what is the energy which has lost due to the connection. What is the lost energy? See, now we don't need to go for the expression of energy lost. Delta U is equal to C1 C2 of V1 minus V2 whole squared by 2 of C1 plus C2. We don't need to go for that, because we have total energy of the system before connecting, and we also have total energy of the system after connecting. We just need to subtract them, right? So delta U is simply U1 minus U2. This is what is lost. So delta U becomes equal to, what is U1? U1 is, okay, I have rubbed it, 4.5 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Minus, what is U2? U2 is 3.375 into 10 to the power of minus 6. That makes delta U is equal to, get the difference of them, 4.500 minus 3.375, which is 1.125 into 10 to the power of minus 6 joule. Okay, right. So this is the energy that has lost due to the combination of capacitors, right? So before combining U2, before they are combined, it's U1 is the energy stored, and after they are combined, U2 is the energy stored. We have obtained the values for both of them, and now the difference of them has given us the energy lost. Next, question number 31 is as follows. A 4 microfarad capacitor is charged by a 200 volt supply. Okay, first capacitor 4 microfarad charged, yes, to 200 volt supply, right. It is then disconnected from the supply. Okay, it's taken out from the supply and is connected to another 2 microfarad capacitor, right, and this 2 microfarad capacitor is uncharged. So only the first capacitor is charged with 200 volt supply, the second capacitor is not charged. Next, how much electrostatic energy of the first capacitor is dissipated in the form of heat and electromagnetic radiations? So now you see this energy dissipated in the form of heat and electromagnetic radiations itself is the energy lost due to the combination of capacitors, right, delta U. That's it, nothing to worry. And specifically they are mentioning how much electrostatic energy of the first capacitor is dissipated. See here, in this situation, we did not have any capacitor, right, we did not have any energy stored in the first capacitor, in the second capacitor before they were connected with each other. Following? First capacitor 4 microfarad, is it charged? Yes. Is there energy stored in it? Yes, because it is charged. Second capacitor 2 microfarad, is it charged? No. Is there energy stored in it? No, because it's uncharged. After they are connected with each other, is there any loss of energy? Yes, there is loss of energy due to combination that occurs. And now what is that amount of energy or the energy lost? From where is it coming from? Whatever the energy lost due to the combination is only only taken from the first capacitor, right? Because the first capacitor is the one which had energy. Second capacitor did not have any energy. Now this first capacitor is losing the energy, right, because it's the only capacitor with the energy. So this itself is the one which has to lose the energy now, and this will lose the energy due to the combination. So that's it, nothing to worry. All you need to find is delta U, right. Make use of the formula half C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 into V1 minus V2 whole squared. Simplify that, you will get it. C1 is 4 microfarad, V1 is 200 volt, C2 is 2 microfarad, V2 is 0 volt because it is uncharged, right. So this is how we should solve 31st question, which is similar to the previous two questions. So I am leaving this question on you. You should solve this problem. Okay. Next, question number 32 is as follows. Two capacitors of capacitances 1 microfarad and 3 microfarad are charged to 800 volt and 400 volt respectively. Calculate the common potential difference, the charge on each capacitor and the energy dissipated when they are connected in parallel. Okay, so all these factors have to be calculated. So first let me write the given data. See, this is a situation where both the capacitors are charged before connected with each other, right. We have two capacitors, 1 microfarad, 3 microfarad, and both 1 microfarad and 3 microfarad capacitors given are charged, both of them are charged. The first capacitor is charged to 800 volt and the second capacitor is charged to 400 volt. So let me write the given data first. Question number 32. C1 1 microfarad, 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6 farad. C2 3 microfarad, 3 into 10 to the power of minus 6 farad are charged to 800 volt and 400 volt. So V1, right, the first capacitor is charged to 800 volt and V2, the second capacitor, is charged to 400 volt. Okay, this and all are the given data. Now, okay, what and all are asked to find? Common potential V is asked to find. Charge on each capacitor after connecting with each other, which means Q1 is asked to find, Q2 is asked to find after connected with each other. Okay, keep that in mind. See, common after connecting with each other. Energy dissipated, which means delta U should be found. Right, let us take one by one. Let me take V first. So the expression for common potential when two charged capacitors are connected with each other is as follows. V is equal to C1 V1 plus C2 V2 divided by C1 plus C2, right. So V becomes equal to, simplify them here, C1 is simply 10 to the power of minus 6 into V1 is 800 volt plus C2 is 3 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into V2 is 400 volt divided by C1 plus C2, which is 1 plus 3, or let me write that 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6 plus 3 into 10 to the power of minus 6. V is equal to 10 to the power of minus 6. I can take that common from all of them. I can cancel them, right. This comes out, gets cancelled. What's left is 800 plus 3 into 400 is 1200 plus 3 plus 1. What happens? 10 to the power of minus 6 taken as a common factor, both in the numerator and in the denominator, and cancelled with each other. So V becomes equal to, look at this, 1200 plus 800 is 2000 divided by 4, which is equal to 500 volt. So this is the common potential attained by both the capacitors after they are connected with each other. Okay. Thus we have obtained one required answer, which is common potential. Okay, right. Next, what do we need? Q1 and Q2. So going for the second necessity of the question, Q1 and Q2 charge on each capacitor after connecting with each other has to be found. Okay, let me take the first capacitor. So, see, the simple expression is C is equal to Q by V, right? And from that Q becomes equal to CV, right? Write the general expression once, then Q1 is equal to C1 V1. Look at this. They are connected with each other now, and the situation they are asking us is after connecting the capacitors in parallel, right? Which means after connecting the capacitors in parallel, the voltage is same for both of them. So, which is common potential, right? So, I can simply take that as V, because it is same for both C1 and C2 after connecting. Before connecting they were different, 800 volt and 400 volt, but after connecting it is same, 500 volt. Okay, fine. So, Q1 is equal to C1 is 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6, common potential is 500 volt. That is it. You have the value of Q1 given by 5 into 10 to the power of minus 4 coulomb. Okay. So, Q1 is 5 into 10 to the power of minus 4 coulomb, or you can keep it 500 microcoulomb. Okay, 500 microcoulomb, that is also fine. You can keep it 500 microcoulomb. And now this is Q1. What about Q2? Q2 is equal to C2V, right? C2 is the capacitance of the capacitor, the second capacitor, which is 3 into 10 to the power of minus 6 farad, 3 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into the voltage, the common potential, because it is after connecting them. V is 500 volt, that is it. So, you have charge stored in the second capacitor equal to 1500 microcoulomb, or you can also write it as 15 into 10 to the power of minus 4 coulomb. Okay. Even you can keep it as 500 microcoulomb and 1500 microcoulomb, that is also fine. Okay. So, second part of the question is done. First part, second part. Now, moving ahead for the third part, which is energy dissipated, right? Delta U shall be found now. So, we can go for the formula. Delta U is equal to half C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 into V1 minus V2 whole square, right? So, yeah, you can you might notice that I have written the formula in a different way, so that it becomes easier for us to remember. But you can write it like C1 C2 of V1 minus V2 whole squared by 2 of C1 plus C2, that is also fine. But this is, if you practice writing it in this way, you can remember it easy. That is why I have chosen this way of writing, which is equal to half C1 1 microfarad 10 to the power of minus 6, C2 3 into 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by C1 plus C2, which is 1 plus 3. I will take 10 to the power of minus 6 as a common from both of them and keep it out directly, into V1 minus V2. Before they were connected, the potential differences are 800 volt and 400 volt, V1 and V2. So, it is 800 minus 400 whole squared. So, it is half into 10 to the power of minus 6, one of that will get cancelled, 3 by 4 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into 800 minus 400 is 400 squared, right. So, you can get it easily. For 400 squared is half into 3 by 4 into, see, it is 4 into 10 to the power of 2 whole squared, which is 16 into 10 to the power of 4 it will become, right. 4 ones are 4 fours are 2 ones are 2 rows are. which is minus, I left 10 to the power of minus 6 here. So 4, 3, 2 is 6. It's 6 into 10 to the power of minus 2 joule. Okay. 6 into 10 to the power of minus 2 joule, which is 0.06 joule. So either you can keep it like this, 6 into 10 to the power of minus 2 joule or 0.06 joule, both are fine. And this is the final loss of energy due to a combination of given capacitors. Okay. Right. Next, question number 33 is as follows. When two capacitors are connected in series and connected across 4 kilovolt line, the energy stored in the system is 8 joule. The same capacitors, if connected in parallel across the same line, the energy stored is 36 joule. Find the individual capacitances. So, first we have two capacitors basically, and those two capacitors are connected in series first. Okay, C1, C2 connected in series with a 4 kilovolt line. Okay, it's not a battery, it's a line, so that it's better if I simply put two dots, because battery is normally of tens of volts. So they are connected to 4 kilovolt line, series combination, and the energy stored in the system when they are connected in series, which I can call as US, energy stored in the system when the capacitors are connected in series, right? US is equal to 8 joule. Okay. Next, the same capacitors, both the capacitors connected in parallel, right? Parallel combination with the same line, same line or same connection, 4 kilovolt itself. They are referring it to 4 kilovolt, the same C1 and C2. Okay. And when in parallel combination, the energy stored, which I can call as UP, is how much? 36 joule. So 36 joules is the energy stored in the combination when the capacitors are connected in parallel. So this is the situation. What do we need to find is C1 and C2 individually, right? So given are US and UP, and C1 and C2 are asked to find, right? US is equal to 8 joule, UP is equal to 36 joule, and for both the combinations, series and parallel, the voltage is same. Potential difference in series combination Vs is 4 kilovolt, which is 4 into 10 to the power of 3 volt, and potential difference across the parallel combination is again 4 into 10 to the power of 3 volt kilo, right? This is the situation. Now energy stored in any combination is generally written as U is equal to half CV squared, right? So let me write the general expression once. Half energy stored U is equal to half CV squared. Now I will write both of them for, I will write the same expression for these two situations. One is here, this series combination US is equal to half CS Vs squared. So US is given how much? 8 joule is equal to half CS is not known. Since we don't know what is C1 and C2, obviously we could not get the value of CS directly. But using this we can get the value of CS. Right? You can see that how we will get it. CS Vs squared, Vs is 4 into 10 to the power of 3 plus 3 whole squared. Making use of the calculator, you work for it. So Cs remains there is equal to 8 to the 16, or I can keep it 8 into 2 divided by 4 squared 16 into 10 cube squared 10 to the power of 6, right. Now look, 8 ones are 8 twos are 2 and 2 cancel, 16 and 16 cancel. So Cs, the actual series, the actual combination, actual capacitance of the series combination of the capacitor Cs is simply 10 to the power of minus 6 farad, or I can write that as 1 microfarad. Okay. This is not the result they are asking us for. We actually need C1 and C2, but without finding Cs and Cp, we cannot find C1 and C2. That is why we should first get Cs and Cp. Now we will make use of the same strategy. Up is equal to half Cp Vp squared. So Up, what is Up? Energy stored in parallel combination. This is 36 joule. 36 is equal to half. What is Cp? Cp is the capacitance of parallel combination which has to be found. Vp is 4 into 10 to the power of 3 whole square, right. So this is 36 into 2 divided by, look at this, 4 squared is 16 into 10 to the power of minus 6 is equal to Cp. 2 came, 4 into 10 to the power of 3 whole square came. 16 ones are 16, 16 twos are 30. Okay, it's 36 joules. No, fine, it will not get cancelled. 8, not from 8. So we will get fraction, right? 36. Let me check. Is it 36 or 32? Just a minute. Yes, it is 36 itself. So it is 4 fours are 16, 4 nines are 36, 2 twos are 2 ones are, it's 9 by 2, which is 4.5 into 10. See, this is plus 6. Sorry for that. 10 to the power of 3 whole squared is plus 6. 4.5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 coulomb. This is what is Cp. So Cp is now 4.5 micro coulomb. Okay. Again, this is not the final result that we need, but it's an intermediate result which will help us. Right. So we should continue the simplification now. So making use of the values Cs and Cp, we will obtain C1 and C2 now. Right. Now what are Cs and Cp expressions? Cs is C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. What is Cp? Cp is simply C1 plus C2, right. So what is that C1 plus C2? And I mean Cp. Cp is 4.5 microcoulomb. Sorry, not microcoulomb. It's capacitance, microfarad. So Cp is 4.5 is equal to C1 plus C2. Now Cs is simply 1 is equal to C1 C2 by again 4.5, because we do know what is C1 plus C2, which is actually Cp, which is 4.5. So C1 C2, the product of the capacitances, is again equal to 4.5 microfarad itself, 4.5, the numerical value. I am not considering microfarad and all. So now think over it, which two values of C1 C2 will satisfy this? If you choose C1 and C2 as 1.5 microfarad and 3 microfarad, or the values 1.5 and 3, then C1 and C2 will satisfy both the conditions of C1 C2 equal to 4.5 and C1 plus C2 equal to 4.5, right. So Therefore, C1 is equal to 1.5 microfarad and C2 is equal to 3 microfarad. Okay. Right. That's it. This is how we finally obtained the values of C1 and C2 of the problem.